Wow. I want to thank you all very much for this being the inaugural winner of this award. I went here back in 1985, and to this day, I still have in my office is my football helmet, my Niles West football helmet. In my drawer is my jersey, number 24. It's still my password to this day, but now I better change it. And my Niles West varsity football jacket still sits in my closet, and my kids wear it. My best friends to this day are my Niles West friends, and we all get together, and we still talk about Niles West days. It's where I made the best of my friends. But I learned my greatest lesson here when I was at Niles West, and you're going to be surprised when I tell you what that greatest lesson was. Failure. Failure. Why talk about failure right now when we're giving all these awards? And the reason why I say that is because through failure, your greatest successes are realized or achieved. Most recently, my youngest daughter, who's 8 years old and bright as a whip, said to me, "Daddy, why did God make evil people?" It's a tough question to answer. I couldn't think of a good answer. And then I thought, you know what? God made evil people. Noah, the name's Noah. I said, God made evil people so that they would know what good people were. And I think the same thing about success. You don't know success until you know failure first. Through failure comes success. Success is more evident once you have failure. The backbone, consistency, the backbone of consistency comes through the resiliency of failure. And it's important to recognize that first. But I'm not talking about ridiculous failure. I'm not talking about failure like making ridiculous risks or mistakes or repeatable errors which aren't excusable. But what's wrong with a gutter ball every once in a while? I take my kids bowling, and there's no longer gutter balls because they have these barriers that come up. And now they have a ramp that you can put there so the ball goes down the ramp and they can get a perfect strike every time. Something seems wrong to that to me. When Beechwood, Ohio says that there's no more all-star game because they don't want to make kids feel bad, or when the community high schools no longer have an MVP because they don't want to make kids feel bad, is that really doing something good for all of us? I question that. Some of our greatest icons in this country, those who we most revere, the most we honor, have all failed, and they're forthcoming with their failures. In fact, they look at it almost like a stop on the Success Express. Henry Ford failed 5 times before he created the Ford Motor Company. Our best baseball heroes, who make it into the Hall of Fame, who hit 300, by definition fail 70% of the time. Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs. You know how many strikeouts he had? 1,360. Michael Jordan was trusted 26 times to take the final shot to win the game and missed. It's not uncommon for our greatest heroes to fail first. Walt Disney, before he created Oswald the Rabbit, he failed with that, went bankrupt, but it didn't hinder him from creating Mickey the Mouse. And Abe Lincoln lost 5 elections and lost all his money in business before he became the best of the best. Failure allows one to realize what not to fear. Once you fail and you've been at the bottom and you realize what it's like, you don't fear it anymore. And there's a comfort in that. Failure breeds creativity. Albert Einstein, who's one of my heroes, was not accepted by his peers. He failed to be accepted by his peers, was not allowed into the Prussian Academic Society, yet his success came from the fact that he didn't have to cower to the status quo. He created his creativity in a vacuum where his ideas were brilliant, but no one doubted him or allowed him to prevent him from his ideas coming to nature. 1905 he created theories, but it wasn't until 1921 that he was accepted. Martin Luther King, who helped identify the fact that failure in itself breeds empathy. Those who fail are the most empathetic. Those who are most likely to give are the ones who have been down there, who haven't had the opportunities. Martin Luther King says, life's most urgent question is, what are you doing for others? My freshman year, I was lucky to make the B team. I went on to be all-conference. I dropped out of chemistry, and I failed physics. Hard to believe. I got a D. I begged Mr. Hepner, who is probably not here anymore, for a D. That's hard for me to believe because I aced it all through college and med school. But sometimes you learn your best lessons back then, and Niles West allowed me to learn those lessons. Niles West said to me, you go out and get it. We'll leave those opportunities there for you, but you got to go and get it. No one's going to spoon feed it to you. I'm thankful for that. The key I learned was that failure was not a hindrance. Yes, it was an obstacle. It was something to be learned, something to get over, but it wasn't a hindrance. Thomas Edison, who took 1,000 attempts to create the light bulb, was asked, you failed 1,000 times. And he said, no, it took 1,000 steps to create the light bulb. Not fearing failure creates strength. It fosters the ability to create ideas, tools, and advancements. It allows you to get ahead, even when others doubt you. And others will doubt you. Others will doubt you all the time. But you can never stop believing in your ideas and be afraid to fail with your ideas if you're 100% committed to them. Statues in this world are not created to those who are celebrated followers. They're created to those who are doubted thought leaders. Doubted thought leaders who weren't afraid to fail. Sooner or later, you have to choose what you're going to be. Are you going to be a doubted thought leader who's not afraid to take risks? Or are you going to be a celebrated follower? You choose, but pick one. Thank you very much.